Good evening, and welcome to Educate Our Youth. I'm your host, Janet Keith Thompson. I'm the co founder of the Mamie Keith and Aline Bradley Educational Foundation, also known as Educate Our Youth. The mission of Educate Our Youth, is to make college more accessible through education, mentoring, professional development, and any other means available to students by offering programs such as ACT and ACT workshops to a college campus and assisting when applying for financial aid, also financial literacy and academics over athletes and young entrepreneurship. My host today is Mr. O'Hara Hannah. He is the recruiter and admission counselor from Florida A&M University. Hannah. He is Good evening, Mr. Hannah.
Hello.
And admission counselor from Florida A&M University. Hannah. He is Mr. Hannah.
Hello.
Admission counselor.
Looks like we got a trailing echo.
Yes.
Looks like we got a trailing echo.
All right, let's see what's going on. You might want to close your browser, Mr. Hannah, that you're watching.
Okay.
Well, while we're waiting on Mr. Hannah, we're going to continue our live broadcast until we can raise some money and receive donations for the program. As you very well know, we can't travel without being able to provide for the students while we're on the highway and also provide accommodations for them when we reach our destination. So hopefully, if any of you are out there listening, please make a donation. Go to our website, educateouryouth.info, click on donate, and make a donation to the Educate Our Youth Broadcasting and to the Educate Our Youth Foundation. We would certainly appreciate any donation that we receive. And also, we could use volunteers. If anyone interested in doing a program for the youth, would be greatly. If anybody interested in talking about their careers, we are going to put on a program where we're going to have certain folks from certain different backgrounds. And if anyone's interested in sharing the knowledge of how you got into your profession, please give me you can contact me through the website at mkabed001@gmail.com, or you can visit our website, educateouryouth.info. Okay, are we great? Are we straight now?
I hope so. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Sorry about that.
That's okay. That's okay. Again, ladies and gentlemen, our guest today is Mr. O'Hara Hannah. He is a recruiter and he is a admission counselor from Florida A&M University. He works in the School of Business and Industry. So, Mr. Hannah, before we get started in our conversation, do you want to show the video that you have set up, or?
Yeah, if you don't mind. Hello, everyone. Again, I'm O'Hara Hannah, recruiter for the School of Business and Industry. It's great to be with you guys from Florida A&M University. I just want to say that I retired from corporate America. I was with IBM Corporation, and I was with Eastman Kodak Corporation out of Rochester and Atlanta. So I bring a lot of business experience to the table here at the business school at FAMU. So I was really pleased to get to this school because it's very uniquely set up. You won't find any school in the country that has the kind of setup like the business school here at FAMU, and it's all designed to make sure you guys get a job when you graduate. Remember, going to college doesn't guarantee you get a job, right? It guarantees you to get a degree. But if you want a job, you really got to focus on the type of information that you're getting in college that's going to ensure you're getting a job when you graduate. And what I like about the business school at FAMU when I graduated is that it has a very unique structure. Now, the video you're going to see that I'm introducing is video that is the department is run by a graduate of the business school, Dr. Shante Friday Stroud. She was a student here at SBI. SBI stands for the School of Business and Industry. But she's the dean. She's gone through the program, and so now she's running it. She came from corporate America as well. So let's see that first. It's a great program. We have scholarships available for you. But more importantly, we have an outstanding program that I'm going to talk about a little bit more after the video.
Sounds good.
I am Shante Friday Stroud, Dean of the School of Business and Industry at Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University. Come join us at SBI, where we prepare future business leaders across all industry sectors by challenging your potential and changing the world. We prepare the consummate professional, ready to secure high-paying jobs. For students who graduate with a 3.0 or higher GPA, you will leave out of SBI with at least 3 to 5 job offers. If you finish with a 3.5 or higher, you will leave with at least 5 to 7 job offers. Our graduates from the School of Business and Industry have the potential of earning upwards of $100,000 upon graduation. Scholarships are available through the School of Business and Industry if you meet the university's preferred admission deadline of November the 1st. Again, we would love to have you come join the SBI legacy where you can build your own.
Well, that was great. Mm-hmm. So before we get into the SBI department, let's talk about the actual, an average student coming into FAMU. What is the mission process for those students? Sure.
All right. So students who want to come to FAMU can apply and be applying for business or whatever department you're applying for. There's a standard admissions requirement for the business school. We do require you to have a 3.0 GPA out of high school, and most students have a 3.0 GPA, which is great. And it is weighted, so they're going to count all the AP courses you take and the honor courses you take. So that's going to increase your GPA. Now, on the other side, we do require the SAT or the ACT. And what's unique about this requirement, it's not an option. You got to take the test. This is a state institution, so all the schools in Florida have to take the test. So on the ACT, for example, we don't look right now. It's not the composite score you get. It's the individual test score, reading, math, and on the ACT it's reading, math, and English. On the SAT, it's reading, math, and language. So those three categories, and they're located, Janet, they're located in the score details section of your test score. So all you all out there, when you go to your score details section, and click on test scores, you see another drop down that highlights the reading, highlights the math, and highlights the English. On the ACT. On the SAT, it highlights the math, reading, and language. Now, the requirements are: if you take the ACT, you have to have a 22 in math, 22 in reading, and a 19 in English. On the SAT, you have to have a 26 in math, a 27 in reading, and a 27 in the writing language section. Now, one thing I do want to say is that we do what is called super scoring. And that's, for example, if you take the test 3 times, for example, we'll take the best verbal from one test, the best math from another test, and the best English for another test if you take it 3 times. I've seen students since I've been here, Janet, they go anywhere from, believe it or not, 3 to 6, 7 times taking the test. And I really advise, if we have some students out there that are sophomores now, or 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th graders, really start early taking those tests, because you cannot go wrong by taking the test too many times. at least up to the point that you're frustrated. I know there's a point you're going to say, hey, no more tests, right? So when you get to that point, then that's when you want to not take tests anymore. But let's get to that point, because scholarships are available at those levels of that what I call super scoring level. So you can't go lower, and there's no penalty for taking those test scores many times as you can. So that's only. Go ahead.
So during COVID, you guys, you're still required. I know a lot of universities and colleges were not requiring students to submit ACT and SAT scores because of COVID. So FAMU do require this?
Yeah, we do. We do still. Again, it's a state institution, so it's sort of out of our control. That's why I really want to encourage students to take that test early and many times as you can. Now, we do have, there's some conditional acceptances that you can't apply for, but we'll invite you as an invitation. For example, you may have a kid that has a 4.0 GPA, but the test scores are not quite there in all three categories, maybe one category or two categories. Well, we look at you in a special way and then invite you for the summer program to come in. We take transfer students. We have students transferring. They'll go to community college for 1 year rather, and then they'll transfer over that way. When that happens, the requirements changes. Once you have 30 hours, all you really have to do is have pretty much a 2.5 in the college, and then you pretty much, there's some 2 courses you have to take that we can talk about in detail that they would have to take. But there's a different requirement after you get 30 hours of college level work.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. So once I've been accepted to FAMU, what is my next step?
Yeah, your next step, once you're admitted to FAMU, you get a letter from FAMU welcoming you to the program. Then you also get a letter from me. I'm the admissions and recruitment coordinator for the business school. So I'll get that same letter, and I'll send you out a letter welcoming you to the program. Our dean, Dr. Shanti Friday-Stroud, that you saw on TV a minute ago on the video, she'll send you a letter out. And then from that point, we'll talk more about coming in for a visit or applying for a scholarship or any specific majors. So we'll interact with you once you apply. We're not just going to leave you out there. We'll make that communication as soon as you apply and get admitted. Not necessarily get admitted. If you apply and you're in an incomplete status waiting to be admitted, I'll still communicate with you to make sure that we're tracking you along the way. So we're not going to leave you out there to find yourself. So we'll make sure that happens.
Okay, how are dormitories setting? What's the dormitory setting like on campus for freshmen and upperclassmen?
Yeah, very nice. As a matter of fact, we have special dorms for freshmen. They're basically it's almost like a suite where you have your own room, your own desk, your own closet. Then you share a central area where it might be a kitchen area. You can share that, but you can be anywhere from 2 in a room to some other dorms, maybe 5, 6 in a room. So it depends on, it varies in the cost, of course. The more private you have, the more cost it is. But I would encourage them to go to the website, FAMU's website. In fact, we just got a new website. So really, please check it out. It's famu.edu. And then just click on the menu and you see a whole lot of drop downs that you can just pick out what you want. So don't be confused. My backup information is there. Anyway, if you need any guidance through the application process or guidance through the searching through the website, that's fine too. Because we have videos out there that you can get a more view than what I just showed you earlier. We have a virtual tour that you can go on and look at all the sites on campus. So really get involved. It's time to get involved now. For seniors, definitely you want to get into the business. Definitely contact me. Well, if you contact me in general, because I'm represent both FAMU and the business school, so I'll forward your information to the right people along the way. So let's not get lost. We're gonna take care of you all along the way. The deadlines, if you're coming in this, most kids, I guess, gonna come in the fall, the seniors.
Yes.
So if we got a good time, the deadline there is we've got all the way up until May 15th to apply for the fall. But those who have good test scores and want to look at some scholarship money, November 1st is what we're looking at. That's actually next month. So you really need to contact me as soon as possible. Let me put a couple of numbers out there. If you have at least a 1240 on the SAT or a 26 on the ACT, you need to contact me right away. That's my number on the screen. If you're in business, I take care. If you're not in business, I'll forward your information to the right department. You know, we have 14 different departments here on campus, so we'll make sure that it happens.
So, what's the tuition to attend FAM, and is there out-of-state tuition?
Yeah, if you're out of state, it's rounding up. It's about that's at $30,000, maybe $29,500, but I've rounded up to 30 at the most. If you're in state, it's 18,000. Those are numbers that are there probably of this upcoming year. That includes your tuition and your room and board. We gave the average cost for your room and board. Room is your dormitory, board is your meal plan. So it's pretty much 3 meals a day during the week and 2 meals a day on weekends, Saturdays and Sundays.
Okay, so I was looking at reviewing the video earlier. So you have several students that travel abroad, and do you have students that also come on your campus from abroad?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a wonderful thing about it, that FAMU has it's international, of course, and we have kids going overseas on a regular basis. We have an exchange program where you can go to those countries that I mentioned. I think you saw China, Europe, South America. It's pretty broad. Now, keep in mind, unfortunately, this COVID process is in sync right now, so we got to get through this part. But yes, those are opportunities to go abroad, study abroad as well, do an exchange program. There's money out there for that as well.
Okay, so the students have to audition when attending FAMU, or do they have to write an essay?
Right.
Was that part of the requirements as well?
Yeah, the GPA that we mentioned, the test scores, this is all, well, if you do the application and you haven't taken the ACT or the SAT test, that's fine. Go ahead and turn your application in and get in the system. You'll be in the system as incomplete. And what that does, that'll trigger a whole nother level of attention. Because now you're interested in that program. We know you're interested in that program. We're going to make this happen to make things happen. But once you apply, to get admitted, you eventually need your test scores and your GPA. And on the essay side, it's a 500-word essay, pretty much why you come to FAMU, what your career interests and goals are. Just we want to hear and see how you're reacting in terms of your interests, your goal setting. And so just say the way you want and your career goals and objectives, and we'll read that. And the idea here is to get a feel for your interests, so we can kind of channel you into the right area. Remember, the last thing we want you to do, people, is to graduate and not know what you want to do, or worse yet, to graduate, pay all that money for your cost of tuition, and then you go back home and look for a job. You don't want to do that. And kids who come in our program, we focus so much on your personal attention. We even have a whole new department set up for student services that's designed to make sure these kids are counseled all the way through the program, and they're out of here. If you're getting a bachelor's degree, it's 120 hours, basically 4 years. Getting an MBA degree or graduate degree, it's typically 160 hours. So we'll guide you through that process.
Do you have any advice for financial aid? What can you tell students about?
Yeah, right. And that's financial aid is the key, especially if you're out of state. It's coming to FAM from out of state. As I said, it runs about $30,000. There's aid out there. What's interesting this year, we were able to give every student got a $5,000 award across the board, regardless of your status. Everybody got that. So I anticipate those kinds of aid to continue or to be out there. But more importantly, to get an early start on your financial aid, October 1st is when you can actually, do the FAFSA. Go ahead and get that in the system, because it is going to require your parents to show their last year's tax returns, get eligible for the awards. And there are Pell Grants out there. I think that runs about $3,500 for Pell Grant. Maybe some supplemental monies out there as well. But no money's given unless you have your financial aid in the process.
Right. So what's the community like around the campus? Is the campus safe for students? Yeah.
And families are right around 10,000 students. The business school is right at 1,019.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
a very large business school. We do have walking security. Besides driving the car, they're out walking the hallways to make sure that you guys are safe. A lot of lighting, a lot of escort service, for students who work going from the library to the dorm. We'll escort you back and forth. But that's the city is. It's a safe city. We're in a nice isolated area, just like from downtown. I was about a mile from downtown. I could literally walk out my door and see the Capitol and all that. It is the capital of Florida. Florida State's here. The campuses are so close right now that you couldn't tell the difference. And, it's like one street separates everything. They're just coming together even more. And then we do have exchange classes. You can go to their class and come to our class. So it's an interaction going on all the time. Entertainment as well. So, it's a fun time to be on campus, a fun time to be in college. To be honest with you, there's a lot of colleges out there. I know you all have a tough choice out there trying to pick a college, but just keep in mind, back in mind that, you want a college that really is going to not only provide you a good education, because that's what this is all about, but getting that job at the end of the day is what this is about. You can still have your fun, but think about a college that is going to be more of a caretaking. Our theme is excellence with caring. I like to say caring with excellence, right? Goes both ways, but it's all about making sure that you all getting your personal attention. You're being tutored. You're being focused toward your career goals and interests to make sure you get out of here safe and with a job at the end of the day.
Okay. So are there academic support services for students, like tutoring, writing labs, things of that nature?
Yes, just on the business side, and it is like that for almost all majors, but we have tutors, the upperclassmen, we have so almost like a big brother, big sister for you. It's whereby, if you're having some issues on the personal side, not personal, but, in terms of the social life, you have the students to support you there. But we have those counselors. As I said, we have a student center that's all set up to counsel you all to make sure that you're getting all the interest that's going on. They communicate with parents. Parents are, through a signed document, they're allowed to interact with us as well once you all approve that. But again, it's not only academic that we're concerned about. We're concerned about your health. We're concerned about your career, and that you're progressing through the program. I personally being coming from corporate America, I personally have an interest in making sure our kids stay focused on what you want to do once you graduate. I mean, if you want to go into, use an example, if you want to go into the financial marketplace, where our kids right now, for example, they're working with Bank of America, Wells Fargo, American Express, Goldman Sachs, all these financial institutions. Well, we're going to make sure that your internships that you have during the summer, that's the part I didn't get into yet, but we have, as part of our curriculum within the business school, we have built-in internships as part of the curriculum. So these are all required, by the way. Would you believe it or not, we have 2 internships required for a bachelor's degree and 3 internships required to get a Master of Business Administration. That's part of the curriculum. And it's paid. I mean, who wouldn't want to get a paid internship, right?
Right.
So feel good about the fact that FAMU is very personable in terms of your career goals and interests. Not only making sure that you're academically prepared, through the tutorials, the labs, helpful labs we have, but making sure that you have some work experience during the summer, and then that you're graduating on time.
So outside of the business administration or your SBI, what other schools you have? Is there a school of law? Is there medicine?
Yeah, the bigger schools are, because the pharmacy is a very renowned program. We have a School of Pharmacy. We have a law school out of Orlando. But that's graduate level. But once you get your bachelor's degree, you can go to law school. We have journalism. We have allied health. We have music. We have psychology, arts and science. We actually have 14. Well, we have actually 98 degrees you can get here at FAMU. That's why I really encourage you to. I can't spill all 98 of them. But once you go to our website and click on academics, you'll see all the majors that are lined up there. I just mentioned the popular ones. journalism. Business is another popular one. Of course, that's where I am right now. Engineering is another one. That engineering department, for example, is a school that's partnered with FSU. So there's some joint programs. Engineering is one, so it's an FSU / FAMU engineering degree that you can get as well.
Okay. So before we get into the School of Business, let's talk about sports. Your band, you have a fantastic band.
Oh yeah, that's
How things are going, with
I
football.
like talking about the band because as old as I am, back in the day I was in the band. I played trombone, so I do remember the band. Let me tell you how old I am. Right, the band right now is like 350. For a while it was 400. When I was in the band, it was just what it was. Just what it said, 100. So things have changed a lot, but it's an exciting time to play trombone. The band is still fantastic. By the way, we have kids. You could obviously be in the band. You can play football. You can play basketball, baseball, golf.
Okay.
What else is out there? Did I miss one? Tennis,
Okay.
volleyball, and I think I said baseball. But those are all sports that you can participate in. And they offer scholarships too. So the earlier the better. The old saying, early bird gets the worm. You really want to start early. Parents, if you're listening to, please have your child, or you can make contact. If you're in the 9th, 10th, 11th grade, do it now. If you're 12th grade, it's not quite too late. You're probably not doing a walk-on, in terms of applying for sports. But if you start early like this, you can ideally get a scholarship. And they do give scholarships as well.
Right. The earlier that you get started, the better it is.
Right.
My listeners are also middle school, starting in middle school, just getting the mindset, the idea in their heads.
Right.
To attend college or to attend some type of trade school or technical school. So it's very important to start very young with the students.
Great. I know it. And that's the key, starting very young. And, what really bothers me, I've been here over 15 years. What's bothered me over the years is that kids miss a point, miss getting in the family maybe 1 or 2 points, or they miss a scholarship by 1 or 2 points. And they only took the test one time or twice.
Right.
Why? And these counselors, bless them, I guess, but they don't really push these students, from my experience, enough to take these tests multiple times. You got to take these tests at least 3 times. I mean, bite that bullet. I think it runs about $70 to take the test. Do that. I think you get a waiver. I think they get first 2 or 3 times you can take the test and not even pay for it. But don't take that lightly. The GPA is great. Don't get me wrong, but you need both. You need both combinations to make that happen.
Right. And I so agree with you, Mr. Hanna. From my experience, high school counselors don't push enough, as far as getting the students or convincing them to take the test more than one time. So I certainly agree with you on that. So let's talk about the School of Business and Industry. Tell me about that and tell our audience what does it do?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, as I said earlier, when I came from Eastman Kodak and IBM 15 years ago, retired, I came to the school and I met the dean. He gave me the tour of the business school. I said, wait a minute. It took me back because the school was so uniquely set up. It's a 3-anchor program. You have the academic program where you can major in accounting, business administration, marketing, finance, supply chain management, facilities management, economics. You got that, and you get a master's degree as well. But then they told me that's one anchor of the program. The other anchor of the program, which really surprised me, is the professional leadership development program. That's in the curriculum, right? So everybody goes through that process. That's a program that invites corporations from all around the country to come to SBI on Tuesdays and Thursdays to participate with our students and some corporate interaction, networking. We have a boardroom where it's similar to corporate boardroom. We have a TV studio where you go and interact with these guests there. And we have the General Assembly. And the purpose of all that is to give our kids an upper hand on what professional development is all about. How do you dress, things you say, how do you talk, what things are not to say, how do you, the big thing to me is dress, the etiquette and ethics skills, the professional skills. So our kids wear suits on Tuesdays and Thursdays, making sure that they have those the right colors, not a polka dot tie or a red shirt or purple shoes, right? You want to be corporate attire, and you interact with these corporations. And these corporations leaders are presidents, their vice presidents, CEOs from all around the country. So they come to visit us. We have probably over 150 of them that come and sit with our kids for those 2 days, just talking to them about how they got to be leaders. This is a professional leadership program that we're talking about here with the business school. So you got that hardcore dress retirement that you're going to attire, that you're going to constantly interact with corporate America. And part of our curriculum, Janet, is corporate representatives like myself who are actually part of the program. And that's the second. That's the second. What I call second leg. The third leg is the internship program. We have an internship program where you all will go and work with these companies over the summer. Again, it's part of the curriculum. That's the biggest difference. It's part of the curriculum, so it will happen. And generally, it happens the summer of your second year. Okay. But we want to make sure that you're academically, pretty sound in terms of basic courses, and that you've had some professional development training. Wearing the right kinds of attire, right kinds of conversations. So you go through these practices, for the first 2 years. Then you go on that job, and our kids make anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 a month. That's money in your pocket, right? Mom and dad don't get that money; it goes straight to you. I guess I shouldn't have said anything now, but now they know. But that's what's going to happen, and it's required as part of the curriculum. And who wouldn't want to get an internship that's paid, right? Now, if you're going to get an MBA degree, now, folks, an MBA degree, for those who don't know, once you get your bachelor's degree, which is 4 years, if you stay for another year, let's say 44 hours is what it amounts to, you can get a master's degree. That generally gives you another $25,000 a year advantage. For example, our MBA graduates make anywhere from $85,000 and up. We just had a kid graduate this year, Craig Mitchell. I got to bring him out. He made $105,000. His salary was $105,000 with J.P. Morgan Chase that he got off. He's just one of students that are making some pretty good money. So now I mentioned those 2 internships, Janet, but they can do 3, possibly 4, depends on, where you are on your academic side. You don't want to go too many courses because you get penalized. But a lot of kids coming in with AA degrees, which is great, or they come in with college credits, and that gives them more time to do these internships. So you got the academic program, the professional development program, academically smart, right, from the courses, professionally sharp from the interaction with corporate America, with some work experience from the internship program. So that total development piece makes you a super sharp person. Your resume is going to look so good that they're going to hire you without a problem.
Someone asked a question. It says your commercial specifically talks about job opportunities. Mm-hmm. What percentage of the program encourage business ownership?
The entrepreneurship, yes, that's what you're talking about, and that's great. Now, while that is not a major, that is a leading interest of our kids coming into our program, and we accept that. We have what we call we have an entrepreneurship club. We have what we call an incubator, where our students who already have a product, a service coming to the business school, they can interact with the local community of those entrepreneurs in the community to help them solve or prepare prepare your product for later development. And it's like the Shark Tank on TV, where you come in and you do your pitch into the local community. They help you out developing your product. But now the thing we want to do, and I was an entrepreneur myself. I sold photography, digital photography. But what I did first, I went with IBM, then I went with Eastman Kodak, and then I branched out and did my own thing. And that's the route we generally encourage, because you need the experience, you need the work experience, you need the networking relationships, you need to know how the big guys do it. So when you finally break out and do your own thing, you have so much on the ball.
Exactly. You know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But we encourage you to continue to talk entrepreneurship. We have a club we want you to join. We have a couple of courses you can take. And then we have that relationship in the community that we also foster.
Well, your business program sounds exciting, and I'm pretty sure it's a large class of students that attend the School of Business. Mm-hmm. I want to thank you, Mr. Hanna, for joining me today to telling us about FAMU. And for our listeners that's watching, they can go to your website, the FAMU website at www.famu.edu. And they also can contact Mr. Hanna at o'hara.hanna@famu.edu. His phone number is 850-412-7095.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me here and looking forward to talk to you. Even if you're not sure what you want to major in, give me a call. That's what I do, and be glad to assist you in any way I can. Parents alike as well.
Well, thank you, sir. And if there's anyone listening today, contact me. I will forward them on to you.
Thanks a lot, Jen. Appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Have a good evening.
Okay. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.